Hello everyone, I'm Rajiv and I'll be back in 20 minutes. Zach, you can lead the call by that time.
All right. Thank you, Rajiv. So you're gonna be back like in 20 minutes.
Yeah, I have another call I have to be in, so I'll be back in 20 minutes.
Okay. All
Thank you. And Minna Al Hadi, I hope you are the mentor from Delegates Talk.
What did you say?
Are you the mentor from Delegates Talk?
Sorry, but she's not the one. I'm the one who is mentor
Oh,
from
okay.
Delegate Talk. Yeah,
Oh, sorry, my bad.
it's
So,
okay.
Zach, they are our partners slash collaborators for this conference and many also upcoming conferences.
right.
They will be leading this call, so let them do the job. So if they have questions regarding our conference, so you will be answering. But if it's just general ROP questions and everything, then Yana Singh, she will be answering all of that. And
Okay.
I hope
Sure.
you both of you already have ROP, the PPT slash Prezi.
Yes, we do.
Yes, and this meeting is going to be recorded and will be uploaded on YouTube, so delegates can refer to it in future too.
Okay.
Okay.
And yes, hi Shraddha. Shraddha is also a member of online operations for GDF. She will also be co-leading the call, but for now she is also just learning about GDF and everything. So if you have any questions, you can ask Shraddha too.
All right. Thank you, Rajiv. Um, Thank you. Welcome, guys, to this ROP session. It's actually an honor to be like a part of the executive board. My name is Zach Toomey. I am a part of the organization and also one of the members who did organize this conference. So yeah, I hope this session would be an active session, and I hope that you guys are gonna learn And if you have like any questions, please do not like hesitate to ask. I guess now the I'm leading like the word to the partners. If one of them would love to speak, Yana Singh, would you like to go first?
Uh, yeah, sure. So, like, firstly, I want to know, like, who all are the participants in the meet and the ones who are our co-partners, so that I can have like a difference in the members who have joined. I guess Shweta, Janvi, and two members are there who are from the delegate stock, like have joined as participants, if I'm not wrong, right? Okay. So, Zach, do you think like we should wait for some time as the participants will join, or we shall start the meet?
Yes, I think we should wait if you guys are down to wait like for a few like more minutes. If it wouldn't like bother you guys, is it okay?
Yeah,
We can
it's
just like
okay.
react. Yeah. Okay, I guess like we can wait like for like 3 minutes, 3 more minutes.
Sure.
Okay. Well, Miss Sienna, I guess like to not make the people that are waiting in here like we can start. This is like the organizer, like the main organizer, and his like co helper are here. I guess like he's gonna like record the session, so I guess it won't be like a problem for the other like delegates. Since like it's gonna be like sent like to
Oh,
them. Like, yes.
okay, no problem. So let me first share the PPT. Wait just a second. Okay, so our today's session, as we all know, is regarding ROP session. So first of all, in today's session, we are going to the first topic which we are going to have is introduction to Model United Nations Conference. A Model United Nation conference is like a real UN meeting where students step into the role of delegates representing various countries. Like most of the delegates here must be knowing that in Model United conferences, what happens is you guys are given with the portfolios of different countries and you have to represent those. So MUN conference ensure that debates remain organized and constructive, facilitating meaningful dialogue and pressing global issues. Then, if we talk about importance of research in MUN, Research is essential for delegates to accurately understand their country's position and broader content of global issues. It not only enhances their ability to debate effectively, but also fosters informed discussion making throughout the meaning MUN conference. So, except this PPT, if I will tell you my own experience, in MUN, many delegates come and their research is like not up to the mark because many of the MUN's debaters have like overconfidence that their speaking skills are अप टू द मार्क और वो जितनी रिसर्च करेंगे तो वो अगर बेशक कम भी करें उनके बोलने के तरीके से ही एवरीथिंग इज गोइंग टू बी फैब बट इट्स नॉट लाइक दैट अगर मैं अपने हिसाब से बोलूँ आई हैव डन 14 एमयूएंस एंड अकॉर्डिंग टू दैट मेरे हिसाब से आप लोगों की रिसर्च शुड बी एट पीक बेशक आप लोगों का बोलने का तरीका उतना अच्छा ना हो लेकिन अगर आप लोगों की रिसर्च प्रॉपर है इट इज़ अप टू द मार्क तो आपका ये एक अलग ही पीक लेवल पे होते हो आप कॉन्फिडेंस में एंड इट इज़ रियली इजी फॉर यू टू हैंडल ऑल द थिंग्स going on in the conference. Then key research areas for delegates are like in the PPT shown your country's history or on the agenda. Like जो agenda आप लोगों को दिया होता है, you should have all the research about it, like the research of the past, what are the things that have been done in the past and also in the present. Then current steps taken to solve the issue. What are the things that your government has taken to solve the issues regarding that agenda? Then your country's stance. Your country's stance is basically the agenda you're having, what your country has done on it, what are the implements your government has made, and what are the steps, or we can say some milestones your country has achieved. Then like it is here written researching your country's historical involvement with the specific agenda item is crucial. Understanding key events, treaties, resolutions that have influenced your country's stance can provide content for your arguments and proposals during the conference. So what happens that every country has treaties assigned with different other countries, and then there are like events that are done in your country which will somehow be really beneficial for you, which you will state in the conference. Then yeah, that's all in this paper. Yeah, then in next it is investigating current policies and initiatives your country has taken to address the agenda item is vital. This may include relevant collaborations, programs, or government actions that reflect your country's commitment to solving the issue of hand. So, like if I talk about this, it is like if I take example of India, तो इंडिया में जैसे प्राइम मिनिस्टर के थ्रू या गवर्नमेंट में जो है काफ़ी सारे इनिशिएटिव्स लिए हैं related to SC, OBCs, then जैसे reservations are there. तो अगर मैं इंडिया हूँ एक कॉन्फ्रेंस में, so for me it is a we can say a key role that I can keep in the conference कि हाँ हमारी कंट्री ने ये चीज़ें की हैं, these are the implementations they have done and ये milestones we have achieved because of these implementations. Then there is understanding your country's official stance on the agenda item is essential for effective representation. Review government documents and speeches to grasp the of your country's position and the rationale behind it. So, in your country's stance, there are all the documentations, official documentations that your country has. Then speeches, like for example, there is an Indian committee, AIPPM, I'm just giving example, in which जैसे हमारे जो एक्चुअल में कॉन्फ्रेंसेस होते हैं AIPPM के, तो if you are being a part of a conference AIPPM in MUN, so you can see the original AIPPM conferences held and उससे बहुत हमें फ़ायदा होता है कि like for example if you are Amit Shah, so you can see the way Amit Shah speaks the way he delivers the answers. So somehow ये चीजें जो होती हैं they are very beneficial. तो वैसे ही इसमें भी लिखा हुआ है कि गवर्नमेंट डॉक्यूमेंट्स यू हैव टू सी देन स्पीचेस टू grasp the nonsense of your country's position and the rationale behind it. Then it is now written understanding foreign policy and current situations. Firstly, we have impact of foreign policy. Understanding your country's foreign policy is crucial as it determines how your nation approaches specific global issues. This policy is often influenced by historical relationships, economic intersects, and strategic goals. Analyzing treaties and international agreements signed by your country can provide insights into its commitments and priorities on the agenda topic. So, in it, now we are discussing about impact of foreign policy. So, in which foreign policy is basically where it is mentioned about the global issues and policies that are being made in your country. Then strategic goals are there, economic interests, and analyzing treaties, international agreements. So, in in a conference, when you talk about your foreign policy, it makes the impact that और आपको एक बहुत ही डेप्थ में यू गेट टू नो अबाउट योर कंट्री कि क्या क्या चीज़ें हैं जो हमारी कंट्री ने की हैं, इसका इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ कितना है, इकोनॉमिक रेट कितना है, इसमें जितने भी हिस्टोरिकल रिलेशनशिप्स थे उनका इम्पैक्ट क्या है इन प्रेजेंट एंड इन फ्यूचर ऑल्सो. देन इंटरनेशनल ट्रीटीज जो की हैं उससे क्या क्या बेनिफिट्स हैं और जो स्ट्रैटेजीज जो हैं, goals जो हैं that your country is implementing on, what are those goals and strategies. Then there is current climate assessment. The current political, economical, and social climate in your country can greatly affect its stance on the agenda item. Assess recent developments, public opinion, and regional dynamics that may present challenges or opportunities. Understanding these factors help delegate argue their country's position more effectively during discussions and negotiations. So what happens that जब आप एक कमेटी में you tell about your current political, yeah, we can say top about things related to political, economical, and social climate in your country, it gives a great impact in the committee. And somehow you have a great access to the recent things that have happened in your country and the result of those things. So, um this current climate assessment is somehow very much important for your country's position paper. Like जो आपका पोजीशन पेपर बनता है एक इम्यून कॉन्फ्रेंस में, इट इज ऑल्सो जिसमें सब चीज़ आ जाती है, आपके कंट्री का स्टांस आ जाता है, देन इट इज all the current climate assessment and other things. So it is one of the main thing that is very beneficial for making your country's position paper too. Then we have research tips for MUN preparation. Firstly, it is start with official sources, utilize background guides, engage with academic resources, network with peers. So, firstly, it is written that start with official sources, and even when we like join a immune conference, even it is said by our chairs also कि जितना हो सके official resources से ही आप अपनी जितने भी आपको चीजें करनी है, just grab those information from official sources. Because what happens that mostly students, what do they use, ChatGPT or Wikipedia. So somehow they those websites are not official and they don't give correct information. And इससे क्या होता है कि अगर आप अपनी कॉन्फ्रेंस में कोई गलत चीज स्टेट कर देते हो, दैट समहाउ क्वेश्चंस योर रिसर्च एंड उससे एक बुरा इम्पैक्ट पड़ता है आपका इन कमेटी. Then it is utilize background guides. What is background guide? जो आपके चेयर मेंबर्स होते हैं, they form a specific PPT जिसमें लिखा होता है कि what are the things they want to be discussed, mainly discussed in the committee, and what are the key topics you need to keep in mind. what are the basic incidents that need to be discussed in the committee. So these are all the वो सब चीजें होती है background guide में. And mostly the delegates don't read that background guide, but according to me it's important to read that background guide because it somehow helps you to gain points from the chair. क्योंकि जब आप जो चीज़ों में उनको इंटरेस्ट होता है और जब आप वो चीज़ें कमेटी में इम्प्लीमेंट करते हो तो दैट रियली गिव्स अ गुड sign to the chair. Then engage in academic resources. Academic resources में जैसे कि related to your education, आपकी country में जितनी educational things हैं उनके बारे में research करके. Then network with peers. All the network uh, utilization you need. Then it is flow of the conference, key stages. Understanding the sequential flow of MUN conferences is essential, more effective participation. First is roll call, conducted at the beginning of the conference to ensure all delegates are present and counted for. Delegates respond with either present or present and voting to indicate their readiness and participation in all votes. So now in this, जैसे ही committee start होती है, the first thing that happens is roll call, in which in the beginning, it is conducted in the beginning of the conference so that the chairs can make sure that how many delegates are present. Then there are two things. Either you can say present or you can say present and voting. So if you say present means that you are present in the committee, you will give your GSL and all the things, but you won't be participating in any of the situation where your vote is counted, where your vote is needed. But if you say present and voting, it means that you are present in the committee and you would be voting for the other decisions that would be held in the committee. Then we have journal speakers list, which is GSL. This stage allows each delegate to deliver a 90-second speech outlining their country's position on the agenda topic and proposed solutions. It serves as a platform for delegates to articulate their viewpoints to the committee. So then what happens? There's a journal speakers list, and this is the main speech we can say that every delegate needs to give. So in this journal speakers list is about 90 seconds that mainly outlines your country's position on the given agenda. Like you have to give all the details about your country on the specific agenda of the committee कि ये चीजें हैं that our country has done और बाकी चीजें जो जो हुई हैं आपकी country में related to that specific agenda. Then yields. After speaking during the GSL, delegates can yield their remaining time to various options, the dais, points of information from other delegates, or to another delegate for further discussion. So there are three main options that we get. First is the dais, points, then second is the points of information, and third is another delegate for further discussion. So in the first one, it is the dais. It means giving it to the EB members the time and they will utilize this as per the opinion. Then second is point of information from other delegates means that you are going to have questions from other delegates. Means POI, we say POIs, that we are going to have questions from the other delegates and we have to answer those questions. Then third point is another delegate for further discussion means that this the specific time which is left you are going to give it to the other delegate and it's up to delegate how he is going or she is going to utilize it. Then we have roles and responsibilities during conference. First is roll call, attendance accountability. Roll call is essential to assertion with delegates are present in the committee. Each delegate must respond appropriately to signify their attendance with the option to state present and voting to indicate their readiness to participate in decisions and voting rights. So as I told before that attendance accountability is there in the starting of the session where you should state present and voting so that your uh, vote will be in counting whenever a decision is going to be made in the committee. Then journal speakers list, a platform for dialogue. The journal speaker list (JSL) is a critical component that allows each delegate to articulate their nation's position and propose solution within a designated time for 90 seconds. This structure format ensures that every voice is heard and leads to informative discussions. So, journal speakers list is one of the most important speech that a delegate has to give, in which your nation's position would be spoken by you about the given agenda, and it is mainly of 90 seconds. It is constructed in a format in which everyone's speech would be heard, and then further discussion would be according to your speeches only. Then yields, managing speaking time. Yields provide delegates with the flexibility to manage their speaking time effectively. After addressing the GSL, delegates can yield their remaining time either to the dais, points of information, or another delegate, fostering interactive dialogue and enhancing the collaborative atmosphere. Then it is right to reply. Understanding yields and right to reply. Yields explained. Now, what are yields? Yields allow delegates to decide how to allocate their remaining speaking time after delivering a speech in the journal speakers list. Delegates can yield their time to the dais, which may include answering questions or clarifying points raised during the debate. Alternatively, they can yield to points of information, opening the floor for inquiries from other delegates, or yield their time to another delegate, giving them the opportunity to speak. Okay, so in this, as I explained before, yields are of three types mainly. First is where you are giving the yield to the dais, where you are giving that time. Yeah, हाँ, ठीक है, where you are giving that time to the dais members, so they are going to decide it how the time is going to be utilized. It is going to be utilized for the queries or for questions. It is all up to the dais. Then the second is point of information that is open for the queries that delegates will ask you. Then it is yield their time to another delegate, in which another delegate will get the opportunity to speak as per they want to. Understanding right to reply. The right to reply is an important privilege that allows delegates to respond their country in mentioned by other delegate during the GSL. This right ensures that a country can clarify, defend, or elaborate on its position as needed. It is crucial for maintaining fair representation and ensuring that all perspectives are adequately voiced in the debate. So, understanding the right to reply is basically, for example, a country is speaking, and somewhere in the GSL they have mentioned that uh, your country and have defamed you, so you have right to reply on it, but for that you need to ask the chair that may I have the right to reply. If they allow you, then you can give a reply to them. And it is an important thing, as the in the committee you get a power that uh, the other delegates will know that, yeah, this person has a really good sense, and he or she knows how to defend his or her country and has a great knowledge about the portfolio allotted to the person. Then it is unmoderated caucus. Information, informal collaboration. Just a second. Yeah. Okay. So there are two types of caucus. First is moderated caucus, and other one is unmoderated caucus. Now, in moderated caucus, it is a structured discussion where a moderate caucus is structured formal discussion where delegates take turns speaking on a specific topic. This format allows for a focused dialogue and is typically initiated by a delegate or block to address particular issues in detail. Each delegate usually has a predator, yeah, a predetermined amount of speaking time, fostering an organized exchange of views and opinions. So, in moderated caucus, what happens? It is a structured discussion where a topic is discussed by the delegates on which they are going to discuss. Okay, in which the specific topic is mostly, we can say, set by a delegate or a block. Like, I guess everyone knows that blocks are formed in a committee where specific delegates have one group, then other groups are there, and according to vote, for example, if block A is there and block B is there and both have different moderated caucus topics, so then by voting, the one topic would be decided which is going to be further discussed. So that is written in it that particular issues each delegate initiated by delegate or block to address particular issues in detail. Then each delegate usually has a predetermined amount of speaking time. Then it is said by the block member or the delegate that how much time will the delegates get to speak. And it is mainly important to have a moreover more discussion in depth about the agenda. Then it is like a kind of discussion where different delegates have we get to know opinions of different delegates, and it exchange different views that are given by the delegates. Then here is moderated caucus. Now, if we talk about moderated caucus, it is informal collaboration. An unmoderated caucus, on the other hand, allows delegates to break away from formal debate to engage in informal discussion. This setting is ideal for delegates to collaborate, negotiate, and draft resolutions without concentrates of constructed speaking times. It encourages spontaneous dialogue and is often utilized when delegates need to align their positions or strategies effectively. So, unmoderated caucus is basically informal collaboration. It is mainly used at the time when the delegates need to prepare for the draft resolution. They need to form blocks. So basically it is used जैसे कि एक specific delegate है उसको अपने एक group form करना है. So he is going to ask for an unmoderated caucus for a specific time, and if it is passed by the chair, then you guys will be having a unmoderated caucus where no, for that period of time, no decorum would be there, like decorum in the sense कि आप लोगों के decorum के marks नहीं काटे जाएंगे, because in committees usually what happens, आपके discipline, the way you are present in the committee, उसके भी marks होते हैं. But once you are in unmoderated caucus, उस टाइम पीरियड के लिए आपके डेकोरम मार्क्स वगैरह कुछ भी नहीं होता है, cause it's a informal session going on. So at that point of time you can have discussion with other members regarding your portfolios and having alignments. आप उस टाइम पे अपने साथ ब्लॉग फॉर्म करने के लिए लोगों के पास जाके इनिशिएट कर सकते हो. Then you can have discussion on the topics that what are going to be the subtopic for the agenda. So that is the main thing that is done in the unmoderated caucus. Then chits and communication in MUN. Understanding the different types of chits enhance communication during MUN sessions. Now what happens that many a times everyone does not get recognition from the chair to speak. So in this case, you guys can use chits to have conversation in the committee. There are three types of chits. First is using types of chits, then use in MUN and communication. Substantive chits. First is the substantive chits addressed directly to DIAS members regarding substantive issues. Substantive chits are basically that you give to the EB members, the chair, in which it is mostly जो substantive chits होते हैं उसमें it is written about, like for example if you are speaking GSL और आपका time up हो जाता है and still you have many information regarding your country which you want the chair to hear. So at that point of time you can write a substantive chit and which would be passed to the chair, and then on the basis of the information you have given in that chit, your marks will be given. Then, secondly, we have point of information chits sent to other delegates for questions can also be sent via the dice. Now, point of information chits are basically, for example, you wanted to ask a question, but you were not recognized by the chair. So now you can write a chit to the member you want to ask question. Now there are two type of chits, like for point of information chits. First is via EB, in which the chit will be passed from the chairperson to the delegate. For that chit, you will get points. But if you don't want the chair to look that chit, so then you will directly send that chit to the delegate, and for that you won't be having any marks. Then we have personal chits used between delegates for informational lobbying and discussions. Now, for example, if a committee is going on and something really important you want your other block member or maybe someone else in the committee, you want them to know what you are thinking or something else. So at that point of time, for personal communication, you can use chat, and of course, that won't be via EB. You are not going to send it to the EB and then to the delegate. It will be directly from person to the other person you want that chat to be given. Then apologies, formal and informal. Formal apologies. Formal apologies are typically expressed in a structured manner, often during a session where a delegate feels that their country's representation has been undermined. This type of apology aims to address issues of respect and decorum within the committee, reinforcing diplomatic protocols. Now, there are formal apologies where, like, they are typically expressed in a structure where, for example, if a delegate is there and उसको लग रहा है कि उसके कंट्री के लिए जो है ये चीजें हैं, ऐसे ऐसे बोला गया है, something un undermined is going on regarding their country, so they can raise the apology to address issue. Okay, and it is like it can be regarding the decorum within the committee and something other things. Then informal apologies. Informal apologies can be communicated during the private discussions or through personal chats. These apologies do not require a formal setting and are generally used to maintain cordial relationship among delegates. However, they still need approval from the dais to ensure that the committee maintains order and respect among all participants. So formal apologies can be like the community, like you having a communication with the other delegate, and it can be through chat or by speaking. Then that's another thing that you need approval from the dais to go with it, and somehow this is important as it forms a good relation with the other members. And one and when you have a great relation with the other delegates, somehow it is beneficial for you for voting purposes and for having draft resolution or other things. Then we have preparation for MUN block information. Now first is understanding the role of blocks. Blocks are essential organizational structures in MUN, enabling countries with common interests to collaborate effectively. Delegates, delegates should strive to form or join blocks that align with their country's position to enhance their influence and discussions. So, what happens there that blocks are something that are essential in organization structures in MUN, in which different countries like combine together who are having common interests to collaborate effectively. Like for example, if a country is there and in real life also you have really good connections with that country, so you can collaborate with that country so that you can have a better alignment in future. And it helps, it is somehow beneficial for you if you collaborate and form blocks, like for example in voting purposes also. If you will have majority people in your block, then it is somehow it is beneficial for you, and you will have if you will have more more voting, then of course the motion you have raised will be passed. Then it is dynamic of block formation. The dynamics of block formation often involve informal discussions and negotiations prior to the conference. Delegates should actively seek allies and engage in conference about mutual interests to build cohesive blocks. So basically, block information is something regarding when there is a informal discussion going on and negotiations are there, like for example, be in my block and I will be supporting you if you will in further MUN conference you will be having any uh, what do we say, कोई भी आपने अगर कोई motion raise किया होगा, so I'm going to be there and I'm going to vote for you. So some kind of these negotiations are there. Then delegates form allies, like they seek, like mostly in unmoderated caucus, that is what happens, that delegates seek for allies so that in future when they have to form uh, draft resolution, it is easy for them as they will have allies, and then it is easy for them to form a draft resolution. Then we have function of blocks in unmoderated caucus. During unmoderated caucus, blocks play a critical role in drafting resolutions and strategizing. By pulling their resources and ideas, delegates can create more comprehensive and impactful proposals. As I said that during unmoderated caucus, what happens that people start preparing for the draft resolution. So somehow it is beneficial as blocks are made, and then it is easy to have resources, ideas, and then delegates create a more comprehensive and impactful proposals. Then we have rules of procedure, key terminology. First is moderated caucus. A moderated caucus is structured discussion format in which delegates speak in an organized manner, usually guided by the chair. This setting allows for focused dialogue and specific topics, with each delegate given equal time to present their views and proposals. So, what happens in a moderated caucus? It is a structured discussion which goes according to the chair. It has a specific format for going on, and that is decided by the chair, in which it is mainly focused on about a specific criteria, and delegates are going to speak about that specific criteria and give their views on it, and also the stance their country have on it. And in which it is like mostly in it equal time is given to present their views, like everyone, the delegates who will participate in that moderated caucus speech, every delegate would be given with the equal time to just give their views and proposals. Then unmoderated caucus. An unmoderated caucus is an informal session where delegates can engage in open discussions without the constraints of formal procedure. This type of session encourages collaboration, negotiations, and brainstorming, allowing delegates to develop working papers or resolutions in a more relaxed atmosphere. So, in unmoderated caucus, what happens is that you will have a discussion with other delegates, and it is a sort of open discussion where no formal procedures are present. And in this time period, mostly it is utilized for collaboration with other delegates, negotiations, then allowing delegates to develop working papers, draft resolutions. Then we have working paper. A working paper is preliminary document created collaboratively by delegates to outline their proposed resolutions to specific issues being discussed. It serves as a foundation for drafting formal resolutions and is typically a living document that involves through contributions and revisions from different delegates. So basically, a working paper is a document which is created by different delegates. Like for example, a block is there, and that block creates a working paper in which every delegate will have their own resolution, their own solutions proposed by them, and that will be discussed among the block. And it is a living document, means there can be changes in that working paper according to the discussions or according to the things that have been discussed in the conference. Then we have crisis in model United Nations. In any event, crises serve as intense simulations that demand rapid response and collaborative problem solving among delegates. Unlike standard committees, crisis committees require participants to think on their feet, adapt to evolving solutions, and work together to formulate effective solutions under pressure. So, crisis is basically what is crisis? Crisis is something that you don't know what about what topic that is going to be. Like crisis is something वो अचानक से आते हैं. Like you will be slowly and gradually हर एक टाइम पीरियड के बाद आप लोगों को हिंट दिए जाएंगे उस क्राइसिस के रिलेटेड. लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल, I will give you an example. A committee is going on regarding women rights. So, आपका पहली information, the first clue which you will get is कि in Ukraine there is a woman who is being kidnapped by the uh, some men, and we get to know कि उसमें जो government है उनकी वो भी involved है. That is the first hint. Now क्या होगा जो भी यूक्रेन की जो government है, that is going to, we can say, with their blog वो discuss करेंगे ऐसे ऐसी चीजें, and on spot they have to prepare how they are going to uh, confront themselves, and वो कैसे खुद को ये साबित करेंगे कि नहीं, it is wrong allegations हैं, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं हुआ था. So they have to frame a proper speech on it. देन सेकेंड आपके पास क्लू आ जाएगा आफ्टर सम पीरियड ऑफ टाइम कि जो एक तो यूक्रेन की गवर्नमेंट इन्वॉल्व है, साथ में किसी और कंट्री, जो वो नाम लेंगे स्पेसिफिक कंट्री का, उनका वो भी उनकी भी इन्वॉल्वमेंट है इसमें. देन द सेकेंड कंट्री हैज ऑल्सो टू कोलैबोरेट विद दैट डेलीगेट, एंड उनको एक प्रॉपर डिस्कशन फॉर्म करनी है कि हाउ दे आर गोइंग टू हैव अ स्पीच नाउ जिसमें दे आर गोइंग टू प्रूव दैट द एलिगेशंस जो भी हैं वो सारे गलत है. So something, this is what happens like when a crisis is given in a conference. And then overview of crisis committees. Nature of crisis. In crisis committees, delegates face urgent and often unexpected challenges that require immediate attention and action. These crises can range from political upheavals to natural disasters, demanding quick thinking and collaborative among delegates to navigate effectively. Now, what happens that crisis is basically where delegates face the face everything urgently, and they don't have idea what is going to happen next. So everything is for them, it is a surprise, and they have to work according to that. They have to form a thinking where they have to be ready for anything that can happen anytime, and they have to keep on having a good डिस्कशन विद अदर मेंबर्स, ताकि जितनी भी चीज़ें अलग अलग आती जाएंगी, क्योंकि एक टाइम पीरियड के बाद दे आर गोइंग टू गेट न्यू हिंट्स, देन उनको एक पूरा एक नेविगेशन सॉर्ट ऑफ रखना है कि हमने कैसे इस चीज़ को पूरा हैंडल करना है, हाउ वी आर गोइंग टू रिप्रेजेंट आवरसेल्व्स इन द फॉलोइंग सिचुएशन. So yeah, one more thing, these crises can be from like political upheavals to natural disasters. Like for example, it can be कि वहाँ एक country वहाँ पे earthquake आया or something regarding natural disasters, and it can be also, as I gave the information, कि जिसमें government भी involved होगी, so it can be related to political issues also. Then session dynamics. When a crisis arises, formal debate is paused to allow for more spontaneous and dynamic discussions. Delegates can freely interrupt each other, express opinions, and collaborate with the constraints of the usual parliamentary procedure, facilitating rapid idea exchange. So, once the crisis arises, the formal debate pauses, and एक उनको unformal session दे दिया जाता है where the delegates are going to discuss in between themselves about the given crisis, and they are going to exchange their views on that specific topic and ideas. Then they are going to collaborate with each other and will have a healthy discussion that how to resolve that specific crisis. Then objective. The main goal during crisis is not just to discuss but to actively work towards a solution collaboratively. Delegates must combine their knowledge and resources to formulate effective responses and directives that address the unfolding crisis. So इसमें क्या होता है कि जो main goal of crisis is that it's not about having a discussion. It is also that how the delegate is actively working, how delegate is the way delegate is responding to the given hints, and how delegate is connecting the dots and using the information he's having or she's having to have a more knowledge about the crisis. Then we have writing crisis directives. Crisis directives are essential tools for delegates and MUN crisis committees. They outline clear and actionable responses to the involving situation, helping the committee to address challenges collaboratively and effectively. Writing crisis directives means that uh, what happens that it is an important tool for delegates which are having a MUN crisis committee, because it outlines the clear actionable things present in the crisis and how the way the delegate should respond to it, and somehow it helps the committee to have a way of addressing the challenges that are in the crisis. And again it has a collaborative discussion among the delegates. Then we have drafting resolutions in NUN. Resolution structure. Clauses breakdown. Each resolution is composed of preambulatory clauses which provide context and background information about the issue, and operative clauses, which outline specific actions that the committee proposes to take in response to the issue. This structure ensures clarity and effectiveness in communicating the block's proposed solutions. Now, solution structure means that each solution is composed of preambulatory clauses, means that the discussion which is held in the conference, and when you are having those solutions in a paper, it should be in a preambulative way, and then it should provide that the context, the background information about the issue, like the issues raised in that draft resolution, उसके बारे में you should have a proper background information. Then operative clauses means like what actions to should be taken on these specific criterias, and then we have proposals to take response to the issue. Again, that we have to take response, like what are the specific issues are there and what actions we should take on them. This structure ensures clarity and effectiveness in communication the block's proposed solution. So if you form a resolution in such a way, it has a more clarity and effectiveness, and it is more effective for the delegates to understand it clearly. Role of sponsors, advocacy, and explanation. Sponsors play a crucial role in advocating for the resolution, explaining both the preambulatory and the operative clauses to other delegates. They must be well prepared to defend the content and intent of their clauses to gain support during discussions. Now, the sponsors are the one who like sponsors are basically the ones जो आपने एक रेजोल्यूशन दिया होता है वो उसको स्पॉन्सर करते हैं. somehow उनका भी रोल होता है उसमें, that they are going to give you information, and उनका mainly काम होता है कि they have to explain that resolution to other delegates. Now they should be well prepared, as the way they explain it to the delegates वही सब चीज जो है मतलब मेन है कि आप कैसे डेलीगेट्स को समझाओगे, क्योंकि On that basis the delegates are giving going to give you votes, and उसी तरीके से अगर voting ज़्यादा मिलेगी तभी आपका draft resolution will be passed in the committee. So all the operative clauses and preambulative clauses should be well defined to the sponsors, and they should be well prepared to defend the content. And if the delegates ask them questions that something they have written in the resolution and they are against, the delegate is against it, so the sponsor should be knowing about all the details they have written in the um, resolution, so that they can defend themselves that a specific content is written because of the issues regarding this and इसीलिए हमने ये चीजें हम चाहते हैं कि ये implement हो. So yeah, that is written that they should be able to defend the content and intent of their clauses to gain support during discussions. Then criteria for sponsors, economic viability. The criteria for selecting sponsors include having the necessary economic resources to implement proposed solutions. Countries with limited resources may face difficulties in being effective sponsors, impacting their influence in the drafting process. Now what happens that criteria जो sponsors select होते हैं जिस वजह से that includes that they have necessary economic resources to implement proposed solutions, like are they economically uh, have that they such they do they have that necessary economic resources that they can implement proposed resolution solutions. Then the countries with limited resources, जैसे कि कुछ countries हैं they have some limited resources in the country, then they may face some issues to be sponsors of a specific draft resolution. क्योंकि for example something is written in the draft resolution कि ये implement किया जाना चाहिए. Now for example Pakistan is there and in the draft resolution it is written that burqa should be banned, right? तो फिर वो देखा जाए तो पाकिस्तान के लिए वो that is a बिल्कुल ही अलग चीज होगी क्योंकि of course they can't ban wearing burqa. तो उसी हिसाब से होता है कि countries with limited resource, if they are having limited resource, so they may face difficulty to being part of the sponsors. Then we have understanding resolution components. Preambulatory clauses, contextual foundation. Preambulative clauses that set the stage for the resolution by providing relevant content, historical background, and justification for the proposed action. They often reference previous resolutions, current state of affairs, and key statistics that underscore the importance of the issue being addressed. So now preambulative clauses जो हैं, they are a set of stage for the resolutions in which they provide some context regarding the historical background and justification for the proposed action, in which there is a full justification for the specific action that you have proposed should be implemented. Then it is often refer to the previous resolutions, or we can say current state affairs, जो भी current state affairs होते हैं उनके regarding, या key strategies that underscore the importance of the issue being addressed. Then we have operative clauses, actionable solutions. Operative clauses detail the specific measures and recommendations that the committee agrees upon to address the agenda item. Each operative clause should be actionable, clear, and tailored to the committee's objectives, ensuring they reflect a consensus among delegates. So, what happens that operative clause में क्या होता है? They tell about the specific measures and recommendations कि ये कमेटी है इसमें ये चीजें हैं जो एड्रेस होगी एंड द कमेटी हैज टू एग्री अपॉन दैट एरिया. फिर ईच ऑपरेटिव क्लॉज शुड बी एक्शनेबल, जो भी ऑपरेटिव क्लॉज होता है दैट शुड बी एक्शनेबल, क्लियर एंड टेलर टू द कमेटीज ऑब्जेक्टिव्स. जो भी कमेटी में ऑब्जेक्टिव्स होंगे वो उस रिगार्डिंग जो है वो क्लियर होने चाहिए, tailored होने चाहिए, and ensuring that they can reflect a consensus among the delegates. Then we have amendments in MUN, types and importance. First is amendment to add. This type of amendment introduces new clause or provisions to an existing resolution, enhancing its scope and addressing additional concerns. For example, a delegate may propose to include a clause emphasizing the need for climate finance for developing nations in a resolution addressing climate change. Now, what happens that amendment to add is basically in this type of amendment में क्या होता है कि new clause is introduced or the existing resolution is being modified so that it has a more scope to be agreed by all the committee members, and it will be having additional things that have been discussed in the conference. Like for example, we will say कि a delegate may propose to include a clause emphasizing the need for climate finance. Like if a delegate has proposed that there is a need for climate finance for developing nations in a resolution addressing climate change. एक climate change के ऊपर resolution है, and the delegate has proposed that there is a need to for climate finance. So it is a amendment added to a resolution, um, and then it is all rests on the delegates that they agree to this point or not. Then we have amendment to delete. This amendment proposes the removal of specific clauses from a resolution to ensure clarity and focus. It is often to eliminate redundant or controversial statements that may hinder consensus among the delegates. For example, a delegate might propose deleting a clause that suggests military interventions in a resolution regarding diplomatic relations. So basically, amendments to delete, in which it is that in this amendment, we can propose to remove a specific clause from a resolution because of to have a clarity and focus, and it can be regarding like something controversial statement is included in it, or you think that it is somehow affecting your resolution, so you can delete that amendment. And there is a example given that a delegate might propose deleting a clause that suggests military interventions in a resolution regarding diplomatic relations. So that's how amendment to delete works, that if something you think is not reasonable in a resolution, so you can delete that clause. Then we have amendment to rephrase. This type involves changing the wording or phrasing of existing clauses without altering their fundamental meaning to improve clarity and perseverance. For instance, rephrasing a clause from countries should consider to countries are encouraged to can strengthen the resolution's impact by making it more assertive. Now, what happens that amendment to rephrase means like there is a specific clause and you think that changing its wording will make it more clear to the audience, then you can change the wording of that clause, but it does not mean that you are going to change the meaning. No, you are going to change the wording of that clause so that it is more clear to the audience. Like for example, there is a example given that countries should consider, so it can be changed, its wording can be changed to countries are encouraged to. This statement has more clear way of like it has a more clear meaning than the previous, like the country should consider, उससे ज़्यादा clear meaning जो है countries are encouraged to इस statement में. So now if anyone has like doubt in amendment to add, so amendment to add and amendment to rephrase is different. Amendment to add में there is a specific clause given and you can add something related to you कि आपको जो लगता है कि change इसमें लाने चाहिए. But amendment to rephrase में आप कोई change नहीं ला सकते हो. You can just change the wording of that clause without changing the meaning. Then unwritten rules for immune participation. Respect the dice authority. Maintain professionalism at all times. Use formal language exclusively. Avoid personal attacks and criticisms. Stay on topic during speeches. Be diplomatic and courteous. So basically what happens, that first point is respect the dais authority. You don't have to misbehave with the chairperson or the EV members, as they are the one at the highest position in the conference going on. So you have to be respectful towards them. Then second point is maintain professionalism at all times. You don't have to misbehave in the committee going on. You have to stay in a professional way, and you don't have to disrupt the decorum of the committee. Then use formal language exclusively. You need to have a formal language throughout the session. Then avoid personal attacks and criticism. Like, you should not attack specific delegate on their personal life. Like, personal attacks should be avoided, and you should not criticize a specific portfolio. Then stay on topic during speeches. You don't have to go from, ये होता है ना कि मतलब आपको एक specific टॉपिक जिस पे है, यू हैव टू स्टे ऑन दैट टॉपिक, ना कि आपको एक अलग ही उस टॉपिक, मतलब उससे रिलेटेड जो टॉपिक ही नहीं है उस पे नहीं जाना है. यू हैव टू सेट ऑन द टॉपिक दैट द committee is going on with. Then be diplomatic and spontaneous. Means you have to be diplomatic. Now, like the diplomacy is one of the main thing a delegate should have. You have to be diplomatic, because you have to, आप लोगों को delegates को जो है, if you are not diplomatic, then you won't be able to make delegates get into your block. आप उनको मतलब, अगर आप एक अच्छे आपको अगर you don't know how to convince people, then somehow it is a minus point for you, because your convincing power in Indian conference should be best, क्योंकि you have to convince other delegates to support you and to be with you, to vote for your decisions. So somehow diplomacy should be there in you. Just a second. Yeah, then we have conclusion and additional resources. Participating in Model United. No, just a second. It's okay. Yeah, so that's it for the PPT. The PPT is done. So that's all from my side. So anyone having any doubt regarding anything?
Hello, delegates. I'm Rajiv, your Secretary General and founder of GDF. Does anybody have any questions regarding the ROP session or upcoming conference or any material related to it? Yes, Janvi, you're recognized.
How are we supposed to like give the chits via like the Meet chat or via WhatsApp?
Via WhatsApp group. Is there any other question? Yes, Aun, you're recognized.
Yeah, when do we need to submit our position paper?
Position papers deadline is tomorrow. Tomorrow by 1 a.m. Sorry, 12 a.m. You have to submit.
Okay.
Yes, Menna, you are recognized.
I thought we didn't have position papers. I asked and they said we
Yes,
didn't have position papers.
there are position papers. You have to submit.
Okay.
And also, delegates, the use of AI in position paper. You are not supposed to use more than 30% of AI in your position paper. If we find that there has been AI used like above 30%, your position paper is discarded and you will not be eligible for your best position paper reward also. Please keep that in mind. You can refer to sources like United Nations website, your country's website, and others, but do not depend on Wikipedia or ChatGPT or those kind of sources, as those sources can be changed and it cannot be used as a proof. Is there any other questions, delegates? All right. So there will be a Google form shared via WhatsApp, and in this meeting chat, all the delegates are supposed to fill that form. And like this form, when you fill this form, you will be receiving a certificate and like your rewards for Canva and Notion. And also, like this, you have to fill this form for further contact from via Canva or Notion if there's some issue related with your account. So all the support tickets, everything will be done via the Google form. Is there any other question? All right. I think we can end this call now.